4 minutes into the quarter. Joe Montana leading the Chiefs, trying to do something Kansas City hasn't accomplished in more than a decade, and that's win here in Denver. Marcus Allen, the lone running back. The throw to the tight end, Jonathan Hayes, and he has a first down at the Denver 12. Lilo Lang pushes him out of bounds. 14 plus on the play.
Dick, the Denver Broncos choice there, what they call their tiger defense. Here's the tight end right here. He just runs a crossing route, but they have 7 defensive backs in the ball game. And Joe Montana recognizes it perfectly. He's got the one guy in single coverage, Jonathan Hayes, with Lilo Lang. And how does Joe Montana always seem to make the right choice? Answer me that question.
Hayes' 16th catch of the year, still looking for a touchdown. The drive continues from the opening kickoff. Montana to Jonathan Hayes, and he's got his first score. Atwater with a tackle. Kansas City with an impressive march engineered by Joe Montana.
That was a thing of beauty. Dick, last night we were talking to Joe Montana. We asked him about the offense, and he said, look, we have a hot guy on every single offensive throw. And in this particular instance, you're going to see the strong safety Dennis Smith blitzes. Joe Montana recognizes it. Hayes gets the reception for the score.
Veteran Nick Lowry adds the extra point, a 65-yard drive. 8 plays, 11 on the touchdown to Jonathan Hayes.
He recognizes it beautifully. That's an easy score for Kansas City. Touchdown, strong safety Dennis Smith, weak safety Steve Atwater. Here is Jonathan Hayes. Watch the pick run by Cash on Mike Kroll right at the line of scrimmage. Joe Montana again recognizes Smith up at the line of scrimmage, possibility of the blitz, hits the hot receiver. Atwater can't keep him out of the end zone.
Len Milburn and Robert Del Pino now back to receive as they work on Jonathan Hayes, perhaps injured as he was tackled by Atwater, working on his left shoulder.
Actually, I think they're just checking his pulse, Dick. You know, he's the diabetic.
Right, takes insulin 2-3 times a day. Milburn won't take the gamble, and Denver's John Elway will start at the 20-yard line. Well, they have a lot of adjectives for number 7 here in Denver as well. One of the great players, and perhaps not with the cast that Montana has enjoyed in his years with San Francisco, now in Kansas City. The offensive line you saw, Bernstein from San Diego is the leading rusher. Reggie Johnson back after a couple of weeks from an injury. Arthur Marshall and Derek Russell. Shannon Sharp, the leading receiver. Milburn and Kimbrough come in pass situations. The toss to Bernstein. No gain. Tackled by Tracy Rogers and Neil Smith. Defensively.
Dick, watch what happens on a switch. Watch number 30. Bayless come in there, makes Bernstein cut up underneath. An easy tackle for Neil Smith.
The middle, short gain to Sharp, 5 yards on the play. 3rd and 5. Now we'll look at the defense of the Kansas City Chiefs with Neil Smith, Joe Phillips, Sally Amua, and Derek Thomas playing on the line. Rogers, Simeon, and Martz, the backers. Albert Lewis, and not afraid to put him man on man, nor Dale Carter, the second-year corner from Tennessee. Bayless is a hitter, and so is Ross at safety, and Jay Taylor's their nickelback. Thomas, occasionally wearing that visor, elects to employ it today. 3rd and 4. Elway with a double throw, and Bernstein has a first down, and the flag is down. Was he beyond the line of scrimmage when he made the toss forward? Derek Thomas applied the pressure for Kansas City. Illegal forward pass is the call.
Yeah, I don't think that was designed to be a pass. That was designed to be a quarterback draw all the way.
An illegal forward pass on the quarterback. He was across the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Also loss of down.
Dick, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defensive backs. So this is a quarterback draw. It is not intended to be a pass. You can see where the line of scrimmage is just in front of the 25. When Thomas makes contact, Elway, always the creator, tries to make something out of the play. It cost him 5 yards and the down.
And remember, it's where the ball is, not the player. And the ball was forward for Elway. Had it been back in a passing mode, a regular passing mode, that might have been okay. But the ball was forward. Carter is the deep man at the 30 of Kansas City. Boy, this kid ruined it. Look at this punt. Has he been kicking the air out of it? Carter at the 20. Waits for his blockers. And on come the orange jersey. A 6-yard return for Carter on a 60-yard punt. Oh, can this Tom ruin boot it? For the ball for the second time, Joe Montana just dissecting the Denver defense on the first possession, driving them quickly, 5 for 6 passing to that 7-0 lead. Play action down the middle. What a catch by J.J. Birden at the 46-yard line. A 19-yard play. Atwater and Robinson with a tackle.
Yeah, Frank Robinson taking the place of Charles Dimry. Dimry was the Broncos' best coverage cornerback. Montana sets, looks, quickly throws. Robinson, 36. He went to Boise State. He played Montana. He played Montana State. But today he's playing Joe Montana.
There he is, 36. Frank Robinson, who grew up in the San Francisco area, rooting for Joe Montana.
Not today.
The lair to Marcus Allen, who gets a couple to the 48-yard line. Well, with that touchdown pass to Jonathan Hayes, Montana edges closer on the all-time list to another great quarterback. He moves within one of Dan Fouts for the number 5 spot all time. Fran Tarkenton way out there, and of course Dan Marino there in second place at 298. Eyes of Montana surveying the defense. 2nd and 8. That's going to be intercepted. A pass that floated and picked off by Bradford. Ronnie Bradford to the 49. A flag is down. They're going to say he is down. Excuse me, he's down at the 41-yard line. Well, they had a big article of Bradford in the Denver papers this week. They've been kidding him about not making an interception. And he said, well, this will be the week, and how prophetic it was for this young man from Colorado.
I have a feeling he might keep this football. Jones runs the wrong pattern. Joe Montana he's making all kinds of motions towards Jones. He was down there. It goes back. Joe Montana's 3rd interception of the season.
Thought Montana's pass didn't have much on it. Here's why.
Dan Williams, number 90, gets his hand up, and you can see it just takes all the steam off the ball. Bradford makes the interception. He may put that one on his mantle. Wouldn't you? Yes, I would.
Ball at the 40. Denver gets the first turnover, and you know how Marty Schottenheimer feels about those turnovers. Give it to Robert Delpino, galloping into the open. A 17-yard rumble to the 43-yard line. Kevin Ross made the stop.
Interesting choice here by Denver. Motion carries one linebacker away from the line of scrimmage. They run inside Derek Thomas. There you see Rogers, 52, follows Bernstein, 33, out to the sideline. And there's a nice big gap for Robert Delpino to pick up nice yardage and a first down.
The first for the Broncos, 6:19 left, opening quarter. Russell in the slot. Give it to Bernstein. Oh, running off that left side, another big chunk. Ross, another stop. Derek Russell, a good blocking wide receiver, number 85, through a key block.
Just straight ahead blocking here by the Denver Broncos offensive line. Excellent block by Shannon Sharp, too. This is very important for Denver. Last time these two teams met, the Broncos rushed for just 35 yards.
And there is Russell, who have led the way for Bernstein, with Vance Johnson out for the year with a broken leg. Russell and Marshall becoming the new wide receivers, playing the roles of Mark Jackson and Vance Johnson, who for so many years were on the receiving end of Elway's dramatic efforts.
And this is the thinnest part of the Denver Broncos team. There are just not a lot of people. Let's see if we can see what happens to Russell. He's blocking on Dale Carter. Oh, he's blocking. Oh, goodness. They rolled right up the back of his leg. Right-hand side. Here he is right here. Watch what happens when Tracy Rogers rolls right on his left leg. The ankle turns underneath. And several other different degrees of the compass. And I don't think we can expect Russell back from that bit of video.
Gain of almost 10 on the play. It'll be 2nd and inches. Going back to week 3, the Chiefs really ran the ball for only 35 yards, or Denver against the Chiefs.
2.5 yards a carry.
So those last 2 runs by Bernstein and Delpino have to be encouraging for Wade Phillips. They send Bernstein in motion. Give to Delpino as the first down to the 31-yard line. Robert Delpino with his own cheering group. Mother Reba credits her with everything. Raised 8 children by herself. His fiancée Danielle is a cheerleader for the San Francisco 49ers. He met her when she was a cheerleader with the Rams.
Here in Denver supporting Robert. And then when the 49ers play at home, then she flies to San Francisco and cheers for the 49ers. But we know where her heart lies with the Denver Broncos.
5 to feed ready with the first quarter. A triple right formation with Marshall in motion. Elway wide open. No one picks up Marshall. And he's to the 18-yard line. First down. 13 yards on the play.
He's the man in motion. You can see him coming in motion. He goes back out this way, and the Kansas City defense just forgets him. He's not the primary receiver. You can see John Elway looking downfield. But that is what you call flooding an area, and there's no coverage until Dale Carter is over there to stop him.
Cedric Tillman has replaced Russell. He's wide right. Marshall in the slot. Bernstein. Great effort by Dale Carter. He spoiled the play. It appeared to have something in it, but Carter coming up from a corner just dumped a couple of blockers and ruined the effort.
It's hard to get outside on these defenses nowadays, Dick. You see the outside linebacker come outside, and there's 34. Great call. Went right at his legs, allowed everyone else to catch up with him, and Marks makes the tackle. Well, you like that corner support like that.
Does so many things. In fact, such a great athlete, they've used him like Deion Sanders as a wide receiver this year. 2nd and long. Underneath, Shannon Sharp couldn't get down that low. Lonnie Martz on the coverage. 3rd and long for Elway, trailing 7-0.
Very poorly thrown by John Elway. As gifted as these young men are, John Elway with his arm, probably the hardest thing he has to do is throw it gently, just 2 or 3 yards over the line of scrimmage.
Well, Sterling Sharp, Shannon's older brother, the great receiver with the Green Bay Packers, undoubtedly watching this before they play down in San Diego tonight. Shannon calls him his father. He calls him every week. It's more like a father than a brother. Offside was Neil Smith. Was he pulled off?
Well, Neil Smith.
So Freeman maybe.
Neil Smith just put his hand right in Bernie Kukar's face accidentally.
Ball start. Number 65 on the offense prior to snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Gary Zimmerman and then Smith. Oh my.
Kukar may need a bandage across his nose like Smith has there before the game was over.
Right.
It was accidental. No penalty, you know. Bernie stopped.
He's marking down the number, though. It's like a soccer official. He's been carded. They take the draw, and And then they throw to Sharp. Sharp tackle by Albert Lewis, who knew that they needed big yardage, gave him a couple of steps, made sure of the stop, and on comes the field goal unit. And Derek Russell, with that injured ankle, as soon as we have a full report, we'll share it with you.
The Broncos lost Vance Johnson a couple of weeks ago to a badly injured ankle.
Jason Elam, the number 3 pick from the University of Hawaii, been in a bit of a slump. This is just outside the 35, the 35 or 36 yards. Nothing wrong with that one. 36 yards, smoothly done by Elam, and Denver's on the board. 7-3 late in the opening quarter.
And Denver, at least put your jacket on.
Not yet.
Make me look good.
I will.
Pro Bowl ballots are out around the NFL, and the fans get a chance to vote. And of course, Simon Fletcher, many feel he's been overlooked, including Marty Schottenheimer. And there's something missing also when you look at the ballot in the AFC running backs.
Yeah, run down that spot, and the first name that should be on there is Marcus Allen. So if he's going to make the Pro Bowl, he's going to have to do it as a write-in candidate. Leads the conference in touchdowns. He's at least deserving of the Pro Bowl.
Well, the coaches and players vote as well, and fans now 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Harvey Williams will not be taunted this time, and the Montana starting at the 20-yard line. Well, the Bears on quite a run. Their defense continues to play great, but lost to Tampa Bay today 13-10 as we look ahead to next weekend here on NBC. The standings in the NFC Central still wide open. The Bears now at 7-6. Detroit playing a late game Green Bay tonight, and Elway and the Broncos will go against the Bears. Maybe not Harbaugh. He was injured. Peter Tom Willis finished it up today in Tampa. That's next Saturday, NBC NFL action. Montana off play action. They don't want him to do that. He ducks out of bounds after a pickup of almost 6 yards, and it was on a similar play, you fans will recall, against the Raiders, where he was hit by Aaron Wallace as he went out of bounds and came up with a hamstring injury.
In Arrowhead Stadium. But a guy like Joe Montana, doctors, coaches, wives, fathers, mothers can tell him during the week, don't run. When Sunday comes and you put those spikes on, all bets are off. I'm going to do anything and everything I can to gain positive yardage and win the game.
37 years old, his 15th season. Marcus Allen, no puck himself, but gets only a yard there as Carl Mecklenburg. Is that a collision? Two greats. Allen with the ball, and Mecklenburg, the 11-year linebacker from Minnesota, the tackler.
Will play next year. Here he is right here. His responsibility in this defense has increased. Started out his career in the NFL as a nose tackle. That's why he wears 77. He's moved up the evolutionary ladder. Now gets to stand on 2 feet a lot of times. But was too small to play in high school, too small to play in college, and has been an all-pro linebacker for several years for the Broncos.
Yeah, he went to Augustana College before Minnesota. No one really recruited him from big schools. Third down, and I don't think Montana got it off in time. It's complete to Jones, out of bounds at the 41. But the flag goes down from the back judge. That's usually delay of game.
We have delay of game on the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Nick, I'm telling you, this 40-second clock that the NFL uses, I'm going to be blunt, sucks. I don't like any part of it. You need motion and you need substitutions, and Marty Schottenheimer is on the competition committee, and put that in big letters.
Well, you go from, no, don't, you don't have to say it. You went from evolutionary theory to that, all within 2 plays.
People are worried about points scored in the NFL. Get rid of that 40-second clock.
Well, I think Joe Gibbs agrees with that. He made those comments yesterday, that it's really made it tough on offenses to change plays, get the play in. Todd McNair in motion. Montana with a flag down, hits the tight end Keith Cash out at the 37-yard line, and we've got holding Kansas City.
I think Simon Fletcher, coming around the corner, was putting the pressure on.
It was Kansas City in the earlier game that saw Denver being penalized 14 times in their victory 15-7.
That's 12 penalties in the first half in Kansas City.
Holding, number 66 on the offense. 10-yard penalty.
Ricky Sigler, former 49er, didn't play the last 2 years, and now is a starter here in Kansas City.
Fletcher is a phenomenon around the corner. Not big, 240 pounds. That's a 280-pound offensive tackle he's running around.
So Sigler cost Kansas City 10. Third and 17 for Montana, who goes long, and too long for Jones. Well covered, and Kansas City will hack the kick from deep in their own end, and the fans love the defense.
The Kansas City Chiefs are facing double rotation zone, and Wade Phillips knows anytime you can stop Kansas City and Joe Montana, that's a big plus for his football team.
Barker's numbers, 42.5, is long this year, 56. No pressure. Sends a beauty. Milburn, the rookie from Stanford, has some chance. 50. And Lonnie Marks gets him at the 47-yard line. A 46-yard kick, 12-yard return, flag down. See if they're going to bring this one back on the legal use of the hands.
They usually do, don't they? Yep.
So instead of the 47 in Kansas City territory, as you look at Marty's brother Kurt Schottenheimer in charge of the special teams of the Chiefs, the Broncos will back up.
Illegal block in the back. Number 58 on the return team, on the run back. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Elijah Alexander.
The block is going to take place right here, Dick. I don't think there's any question. You have to have your head clearly in front of the other person, and what these kids have to learn is when that ball is in the air, the officials are looking for only one thing, and that is an illegal block in the back.
Away from the 39-yard line. Playing without one of his starting wide receivers, Derek Russell. Bernstein for the hole. The big guy from Texas A&M has almost 9 on the play. Well, we come down to the final seconds of this opening quarter. John Elway handicapped. He's lost his top 2 receivers this last month. First Vance Johnson and now Derek Russell. It's a 7-3 game, end of 1 at Mile High, Denver.
Indianapolis at the Meadowlands. We open the second quarter, 7-3, Broncos down, and they have a second and short at their own 46-yard line.
Bernstein. First down to the Kansas City 49-yard line. Takes half the Chiefs defense to bring him to the ground. We welcome those of you who have seen the Houston Oilers win their 7th in a row as they defeat the Cleveland Browns with 4 Del Greco field goals. Make that 8 in a row. 8 in a row for the Oilers after that horrendous start. Jack Party's team now you have to talk about them in playoff superlatives. The Broncos have lost one of their top receivers, Derek Russell, with an injury, and Elway stays on the ground. Bernstein for a couple. Joe Montana took the opening kickoff, drove his team downfield, and for those of you who have joined us late, found his tight end Jonathan Hayes wide open as Hayes scores his first of the season.
Yeah, they caught the Denver Broncos in a safety blitz, and Montana has, as he always seems to do, read it perfectly, and Hayes makes it an easy reception for a touchdown.
Second down, 8 for Denver at the 46 of Kansas City. The Broncos 3 points on a 36-yard field goal by Jason Elam. Bernstein all 3 carries on this drive, and he gets it again. Charles Mincy, 42, comes up to help out Neil Smith.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs are doing a great job of support. They had 6 defensive backs on the out on the field there, and were able to stop that run. I mean, normally with 6 defensive backs, you don't expect a lot of run support, but Dave Adolph's defense, a lot of changing up going on both sides of the ball here, Dick.
Quarterback's right up on the line of scrimmage for Kansas City. Elway goes long. And well covered was Arthur Marshall. Kevin Ross would not let him get outside.
And you know, the other thing that Kevin Ross did well there was a blitz up front. Again, Kansas City coming with a lot of extra defensive backs.
But remember, Ross told us he's now listed as a safety, but their play, he says, I'm still a lot of cornerback too.
Sure, but the smart thing here is watch what happens. He makes sure the receiver stays inside him. Inside him, there's no place for John Elway to throw the ball to make the completion. That's the corner part of Kevin Ross at safety.
Tom Rowan aims for the corner and doesn't make it. Touchback will take it out to the 20-yard line. 43, but 23 on the net, and we have a timeout.
Call Domino's Pizza now, and you'll be enjoying our new crunchy thin crust pizza during halftime.
Back with the 76,000 plus, selling out another Bronco home game here at Mile High Stadium. 187 consecutive sellout. Kick in the end zone by Tom Rowan. So Montana leading 7-3, opens at the 20-yard line. Incomplete, intended for Willie Davis, covered by Tyrone Braxton. Let's go to New York in this NFL update.
And while you're at Mile High in the Coliseum, the Raiders fight for their playoff lives. A Raider loss and a Kansas City victory clinches the AFC West for the Chiefs. So what happens? Raiders lead 3-0 in the second quarter. Chris Warren goes in for Seattle, and the Seahawks are on top 7-3. Back to Dick and Bob.
All right, Jim, Seattle's always played well down there in Los Angeles. Dave Craig had some big games against the Raiders. 2nd and 10. Give to Marcus Allen. Boy, is that a typical San Francisco offense call. 2nd and 10, run the ball, and Allen gets 6 and has 24 in the game.
Front guard pulls. You see Shields out in front. Actually, this is well defensed by Denver, but they're still able to pick up 4, 5, or 6 yards. And yes, that's a purpose play. It makes you respect the run. We prefer to throw it.
Montana now in a pass situation, 3rd and 4, is 6 for 10. You look at Allen's numbers, 3 consecutive incomplete. Not this one. Todd McNair, and McNair has a first down at the 38. Tackled by Robinson and Dennis Smith.
Now, Dick, this offense that Paul Hackett and Joe Montana brought to Kansas City is so versatile. The people in Kansas City got to be just overjoyed looking at this, because before they were there, it was just give it to Okoye, give it to Word. And here's an extra running back running a little sneak underneath everybody else, clearing out for an easy pickup and another first down.
Well, McNair's had really good numbers this year. He's averaging 8.6 a yard rushing, and he's always been one of their top receivers. Marcus tricked up. Shane Dronette able to get a piece of his body on him, and Allen goes down at the line of scrimmage.
It did look like they caught feet. That's an easy tackle for Shane Dronette. Now again, the Kansas City Chiefs choice here is to run outside. Dronette comes from the backside. Yeah, he just runs right in the block. Yeah, he steps on his foot. That's the easiest tackle he'll make this year.
Keep the uniform well clean that way. Allen in the flat. Dropped after a yard gain. Good play by Tyrone Braxton.
That was a great tackle.
Radar Braxton from North Dakota State.
He's the last guy left out there. Normally, you'd like to have this thrown a little stronger, but Joe has to put it over the outstretched arms of 73 Fletcher, and it just allows Braxton to make a beautiful tackle for little or no gain.
So it's 3rd and 10.
7 defensive backs for the Broncos. No one behind Montana, and that's Dennis Smith coming right up into his face. Timeout, Montana.
Now see, this is the beautiful part of the game of football, adjusting to what the defense does. But the clock won't allow you to do that anymore.
But, you know, there are always commercials to bide your time.
Oh. Dip on the last play. Watch what happens. Montana realizes the 25-second clock has expired, calls a timeout. The defense celebrates. They use up a timeout.
Now on 3rd and 10. Montana complete to Willie Davis. And Davis hit in the secondary by Darrell Hall. 15 yards for Montana. First down, Kansas City.
He's so cool in the pocket. And the last time these two teams met, Davis had 6 catches for 139 yards. Look at him looking around, reading, has great confidence in Willie Davis, a young man who ran the wishbone in college at Central Arkansas. Really had to teach himself to catch the ball, and now his dream fulfilled, catching it from Joe Montana.
He learned his craft in the World League at Orlando, and now running the Jerry Rice version of the offense. Play action to Marcus, and the throw complete. J.J. Birden. Dennis Smith wrestles him down at the 27-yard line. 20 more.
Part of this offense and the problem that Kansas City has had is the two people that know it best are Paul Hackett and Joe Montana. Now, Birden almost makes a mistake here. He doesn't carry in far enough. That's almost tipped away by Braxton, 34. You see Birden when he runs this square in, and see if he keeps carrying in. That's the pattern that Joe's looking for, but accuracy makes the completion.
If Willie Davis is the Jerry Rice, J.J. Birden is the John Taylor of the offense, and now it's Marcus Allen, and he's hit by Mike Kroll. Kroll seemed to be free in the backfield.
Well, this Denver defense is not big, and you don't know when somebody's going to blitz. Here's Kroll on the inside of Jonathan Hayes, 85. Jonathan Hayes misses the block right there to stop Marcus Allen for a loss.
It'll be 2nd and 11.
This Denver defense, you got to take a second at the line of scrimmage just to identify who's there if you're Kansas City.
Tim Barnett to the right, and Fred Jones split left. Montana down the middle, complete to Barnett, who's inside the 5. Atwater and Smith make the stop. 24 more for Joe.
Man, this is... You run out of adjectives. Again, looking straight down the middle, and then he goes to the right at the last second. He picked, again, the one receiver that's got single coverage. They had Cash down the middle. This is Braxton. You're going to see on the left, Cash is double covered right at the end of this play. There's the double coverage on the tight end. Montana, again, makes the right choice.
Leading 7-3, first and goal at the 4, and Montana super again. The interception came on a tip pass, and Ronnie Bradford picked it off for the Denver Broncos late in the first quarter. Second timeout spent by Kansas City, middle of the second quarter.
Joe Montana makes the right choice. You're going to see double coverage here. You're going to see double coverage here. Here's the single coverage, and he's the guy that Joe Montana picks and makes the completion. How does he know?
He just sees the field so magnificently. First and goal at the 4, 7-3, Kansas City. Marcus Allen, he's in the end zone again. The man who leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns has his 11th of the year on the ground and his 14th of the season.
Understand that Kansas City has won 21 of the last 25 games they have played against AFC West opponents. They are 5-0 in the division this year, and Joe Montana and Marcus Allen are two big reasons why. Huge reasons.
Kansas City has scored 11 touchdowns on the ground. That man has all 11. Lowry for the extra point. Snap, a good job done by Barker to get it down, and Lowry skids as he kicks the ball, and it wasn't very pretty, but the job is done. 80-yard drive, 10 plays.
You're going to see motion, and you're going to see guards pulling, and Marcus Allen, as he's done throughout his career, Kimball Anders, 38, a good lead block. Zott, 79, an excellent block. And Marcus Allen, who told us last night, he said that I chose Kansas City because this offense fit my talents. I could catch the ball a lot and run the ball on the goal line. And man, has he done both.
Oh, he told us earlier in the year, he said, when I played with Roger Craig with the Raiders, I used to kid him, say, envied him being in that 49er offense. And so remembering that when the opportunity arose, Kansas City was the call. Only 5 others have scored more touchdowns in this league than Marcus Allen. I wonder who there they are. Brown, Payton, Rice, Riggins, Lenny Moore. Why are you marking Lenny Moore?
Because he's the guy I think who most resembles, good word, Dick, resembles Marcus Allen in the way they played. Excellent receiver, ran for a lot of touchdowns, very elusive, and Joe Montana knows where the soft hands and talent lie.
You know, you using those big words, and Marty likes the word unequivocally, and he uses that when he says Marcus Allen is not just the best, he is unequivocally the best player I've ever seen down on the goal line.
I'll let Marty use those big words from here on out, Dick.
But the point is that the man produces in that red zone.
Absolutely. Has throughout his career. This is not a new trait that Marcus Allen has suddenly found.
So it's 14-3 as Kansas City attempts to end the drought in Denver. And the long kick by Lowry, and Milburn will take the touchback. And that gives us a chance to remind you, as you have been throughout the course of this weekend, that New Year's Day will be a happy way to start for the football fan. A triple header. You'll first see at 1 o'clock Eastern the IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl, Miami, Arizona, then Notre Dame, Texas A&M in the Mobile Cotton, and finally the matchup, #1 Nebraska with a Heisman winner Charlie Ward. Check that. Nebraska #1 with the Butkus winner Trev Alberts against Florida State #2. Yeah, that was Freudian. #1 Florida State. They're only favored by 17 points. Elway, good protection. And then he's hit from behind and fumbles. Neil Smith forced the fumble, and Elway is able to recover.
The bat move.
Neil Smith celebrates his sack with that little baseball swing of his.
In deference to George Brett. But there was an incident in Kansas City this week that almost upset the entire football team. That's Neil Smith around Zimmerman. Great coverage downfield. Someone stole Neil Smith's bat, was holding it for ransom.
He's got a red. Someone sent him in the spirit of the Kansas City Red, a Kansas City baseball bat in red with his name on it. And they don't beat the clock. And there again, delay a game. And he was trying to find out just who the culprits were. It was well orchestrated with a letter of ransom. How much money did they want for the bet?
They wanted $300. They wanted it 50-yard line. 4 o'clock today.
It was a mystery. Was it Joe Montana? Oh, no. Or the ever-clever Marcus Allen.
He knew too much about it last night. He knew too much.
Linebackers can be evil, Derek Thomas.
No. They're good buddies. He wouldn't do it.
The latest rumor is it's a wide receiver. Elway from deep in his own end. Oh, his receiver had fallen, intercepted by Mincy, and Kansas City has it at the 30-yard line. Shannon Sharp slipped and fell, and Mincy has his 5th interception of the year. He leads Kansas City.
And Dick, again, you saw John Elway looking and looking and looking and looking. There is an awful lot of time for him to stand back there. Again, great coverage by Kansas City from behind Mincy. You can see the pressure, and Elway's trying to find anybody to throw to. There's Sharp that falls down, slips. Of course, they play baseball on this turf now, and that's right at the end where the Colorado Rockies have their infield.
Charles Mincy, the leader in thefts for the Chiefs.
Well, you don't want to give Joe Montana the short field.
6:13 left in the half. 14-3 Kansas City. Todd McNair in motion. Kimball Anders gets the call. He's to the 26, a pickup of 5. Shane Brunette, the tackler.
Boy, the defense was coming all out. Blitzes everywhere. Charles Mincy, congratulations. Watch 77 coming. This is a great call. There's Dennis Smith, 49, coming. All-out blitz. Watch Mecklenburg. Tackles Joe Montana thinking he has the ball. Anders picks up, what, 4, 5, 6 yards?
5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
So far, nothing that Denver has done defensively has hurt Kansas City.
Charlie Waters, their defensive coordinator, who played against Montana. When Montana and Dwight Clark hooked up in the catch in the playoffs. Again, a full blitz, and Montana throws incomplete. Willie Davis, the closest white jersey. Tyrone Braxton on him.
Dick, the Denver Broncos are emptying their defensive bucket here. I mean, they have called anything and everything they can think of. Watch what happens here again. You got people coming from everywhere to try to disrupt Joe Montana. And he sees, hey, I don't have a receiver open, I'll throw it away. Montana has always protected himself very well in the pocket.
Marty Schottenheimer not at all pleased that something better didn't come out of that. 3rd and 5.
Blitz again.
Wide open is Jones. Fred Jones from Grambling, who has only 9 catches, and from that reaction, Joe blames himself.
Yes. You don't get him that much open, and Joe Montana doesn't miss many. But again, look at the blitz. I mean, Denver's trying anything and everything they can think of.
Oh, was Jones 10 yards in the clear?
Just overthrown, and he knows it. He's always one to put it on himself. Never blames the other guy, just puts it on himself. They got the right play called. Joe just can't get it to the receiver.
So it's Lowry for a 44-yard field goal. It's hooking. No good. Wide left. So the Bronco fans, with little to cheer in this first half, see hope in the miss.
He hasn't missed many in his career. It's a little rough out there between the hash marks, and generally speaking, when a kicker misses it left, he's swinging his leg a little too hard. That's a hook.
So the interception by Mincy comes up empty for Kansas City. It remains 14-3. Joe Montana with just one. You get the whole team around you.
That's Charlie Waters down there in the middle, trying his best to design something else to stop Joe Montana. They've not put anything out there to even slow Kansas City down.
Some of the fans taking a split screen to a human level here in Denver. Bernstein on first down. Fights through one tackle at Dan Saliamoa and gets out to the 28-yard line where Joe Phillips makes the stop. And a look at the natural gas quarterback efficiency ratings featuring the top 2 in the AFC, Montana and Elway in this game. Boomer with a 3-0 win yesterday in the nation's capital. Neil O'Donnell, Jim Kelly, understand, came up with an injured ankle today, and Frank Reich rallied the Bills to victory at Philly. Warren Moon, come from behind win at home, number 8 in a row for the Oilers today. Kansas City 178 to 70 in yards in this half. 2nd and 8 for Elway. To the flat. Arthur Marshall. And he's right at the yardsticks. They're going to spot it shy of the 36, so it'll be not enough for the first down.
Dick, I think Denver's going to have to get used to throwing the ball out there in the flat. Kansas City's coming with a lot of 6 defensive backs. I think Wade Phillips is realizing here that when Marshall got hurt, when Russell got hurt, and without Vance Johnson, what they're doing is doubling Shannon Sharp inside. And the only thing they're allowing are the little short out routes on the outside. So Denver's got to find something else to do offensively.
They're going to bring the chains all the way across to measure. And it is short by that much. 3rd and inches. The Denver Broncos comparing Dan Reeves' offense of a year ago with Wade Phillips. More than a touchdown a game and considerable yardage for this offense. They call the West Coast offense. Those who don't want to give San Francisco full credit.
Jim Fossil is the coordinator. Wade spends more time with the defense. There's Fossil on the sideline.
Former quarterback at Southern Cal and Long Beach State. Played briefly 1 year in the NFL. 3rd and inches. And it's Filipino, the short yardage expert for Denver, who gets the first down.
I'd say with the way Denver's struggled offensively to this point in this first half, this is a key drive for them. Points of some sort across the 50-yard line, something here.
4 minutes to go in this half. 5 first downs for Denver, all rushing in this half.
They're taking away his underneath receivers, double covering them all over the place.
Elway on a roll this time. Almost intercepted by Tracy Simeon, who cut in front of Cedric Tillman.
Dick, it looked to me like the primary receiver was Shannon Sharp.
And he was open.
Yeah, he blocked momentarily. As he rolls, you'll see Shannon Sharp right there. He's open, but John chooses to go downfield trying to get it to Tillman, and Tracy Simeon almost comes up with the next pick. And now look at the situation that Kansas City has Denver in. 3rd and long, and Kansas City comes in with, I count 7 defensive backs. Look at this is what he faces now.
Out of the shotgun, 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete to Marshall, and he has a first down at the 48, maybe the 49. Jay Taylor, one of those extra defensive backs, made the tackle at the 49.
There's single coverage here. Taylor 27 on Marshall, and Marshall wins the battle. Good job of separating himself from the coverage, and Elway puts it right on the money.
Arthur Marshall knows all about covering the 100 yards here as a real estate major at the University of Georgia. Elway working without the experienced receivers now with Russell and Marshall. Russell hurt, Vance Johnson hurt, flag down.
Yeah, I think Kansas City got a timeout. They had too many men on the field, and let's see what happened. Yeah, 77 was
Colin McDaniels
was on the field. Let's see if they
Timeout, Denver.
No.
First charge team timeout.
It's Kansas City.
That'll be corrected.
Kansas City.
Wade says, I'll take it if you want.
Here's 77, and Dale Carter motions to the official right here and gets the timeout.
So the Chiefs have used all their timeouts. 3:04 to go. And the Denver Broncos with a first down at midfield.
There's the offensive brain trust there. Sean Moore, Tommy Maddox, the 2 backup quarterbacks. Jim Fossil on the left with the headset.
Gives us a chance, as these Sterling fans would suggest, to think about next week, next Sunday. What do we have? NFL Live at 12:30. Buffalo at Miami. We'll be down at Joe Robbie for a game that could well decide who gets home field. Playoffs ahead. Houston travels to Pittsburgh on another outstanding clash. New England and Cleveland. The late game, San Diego will be at Arrowhead. 3:04 to go before the intermission. Filipino and Bernstein in the backfield this time, and Elway shoots to the tight end, Reggie Johnson, who's been out for a couple of games with a hamstring. That's his 16th catch of the year for 16 yards.
Dick, Kansas City missed the coverage there. They had Kevin Ross moved over there late. He's the free safety. Martin Bayless was totally out of position.
From the 35, Elway sends Marshall to the right. Those are the 2 tight ends, and Bernstein flares to the left. Underneath to Sharp, and Shannon Sharp, 10 more to the 25. Martin Bayless, the tackler. Shannon says, "Come on, let's get going here, Mile High."
Actually, he should be doing that to John Elway. He's been open a couple of times. John has not thrown it to him.
It is a first down as seconds tick down to the 2-minute timeout. Kansas City hasn't won here in 10 years, leading 14-3. Adolph and Marty Schottenheimer discussing the defense as John Elway drives his team to the 25. A first down with 2 minutes to go, trailing 14-3. Kansas City scoring on a Montana pass to Hayes and an Allen run. And Domino's Pizza halftime report coming up with Jim Lampley
Joe Gibbs joins Mike Ditka. How about those ties? I thought Joe Gibbs and I were going for the All Vanilla Award, but not with that tie he's wearing today.
I think they walked from the hotel to the studio and hit one of those carts on the side of 49th Street.
Might have gotten a watch thrown in. Elway with time. Hits his tight end again, and Johnson has it. First and goal at the 7. Elway chewing up big chunks. That's 13 more.
Well, this one should come right at you. Here's the receiver right over here. It's linebacker coverage. Tracy Simeon. Simeon never looks back. Boy, that is an accurate throw by John Elway.
Clock running, 1:34. Broncos have all their timeouts left. They don't want to score too soon here, so they're not going to use one at this point. 4 shots from the 7 to make this one tight at halftime. Elway trying to run himself and out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Neil Smith made sure he didn't go upfield.
Excellent coverage by Kansas City, and Robert Del Pino was out in front of John Elway. And if you're kind of in a can't-win situation if you're the running back, you make yourself a receiver, or you block for the quarterback. As it was, he picked up very little yardage.
10th play of this drive. 1:16 left in the half. Elway gaining 1 yard on the scramble. Well, they run to Bernstein, and he's toppled at the 4. Did not fool the Chiefs. Lonnie Martz, 51, submarining to make the stop.
This is an aggressive front 7 for Kansas City. They try their darndest to. Sally Amua goes up. He looks hurt.
Big guy from Arizona State. Clock still running. 47-46. Elway watching the clock, and apparently is going to call time after he uses almost the full complement. It's down to 4 on the play clock, 2, and spends his timeout with 1 second. So that's exactly right. Elway wants to score, leave Kansas City with no time to counter.
And the knee of Rod Bernstein. You wonder why Dan went to the sideline. 97. That's a stinger. Give you a headache. Also make your neck burn a little bit.
Sally Amua, a concrete man. He says he still goes down to Phoenix and admires the building where he poured concrete when the days weren't so bright for him when he was unknown with the Lions. 3rd and goal. 2 men in motion. There'll be a flag on that. Elway throws complete at the 1-yard line to Shannon Sharp. You can't have 2 guys running unless you're playing north of the border.
You're right. It's allowed in Canada. John didn't even see the other guy in motion.
Damon Allen up there in Eskimos country, Edmonton, get away with that. Marcus Allen's brother, who won the Grey Cup and was the MVP, as you heard on the pregame chat with OJ. Marcus wants to say, hey, he's got 2 MVPs in Canada to win the championship. I need another to match my kid brother, the quarterback for Edmonton. What a family, huh?
Illegal motion on the offense. 2 men moving at the same time. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Dick, you called that perfectly. And yeah, you know, you talk about the Edmonton Eskimos and Damon Allen. That was a spot first made famous by one Warren Moon up there in Edmonton, you know. So yep. Damon Allen following in the footsteps of a very big star.
So the 5-yard penalty back to the 9. 28 seconds left in the half. 6 Denver penalties here in this first half. Elway. Sharp has a man wide open. You called it. Shannon Sharp. He may not be a Hulk, but that Sharp family is incredible. Leading receiver for the Broncos this year. He's got 60 on the season, and that's his 5th touchdown. Elam's try for point. And the
Denver Broncos on a typical Elway. Final 2 minutes of the half. Drive pulled to within 14-10.
Dick Sharp runs a very smart pattern here. He's lined up here, and when he gets to here, he kind of hesitates for a minute, and then there. And Elway is waiting for him all the way. Watch the little hesitation here, you see? Then he moves. And Elway with that arm of his, easy pickings, and the halt. You can see Elway's looking for Sharp all the way. And when the defense drops him, yes, sir.
There's the move. Look at the muscular. He happened to walk by us with just his skivvies on the other day. This guy he must have body fat about 2%.
2%, yes, you're right.
Elway, 74-yard drive in 11 plays. And the Bronco fans quite well accustomed to that kind of work by their outstanding quarterback.
And is that so important for Denver? Get the fans back here in Mile High Stadium into the game. Help a lot.
Well, just to believe the way Montana was controlling the action in Kansas City, it looked a bit as gray as the weather is becoming, and this is about the time the snow was supposed to arrive, and the clouds are much heavier overhead.
Dick, that drive by Denver there may have been as important as a fourth quarter drive they may need later. That gets psychology back on the side of the Denver Broncos, players and fans.
Elam might have been ordered just to skid this one down, as Kansas City has no timeouts. You don't want a long return. Harvey Williams is the deep man. No? Well, he kicks the high short one to Williams at the 10. And Williams hit at the 24-yard line. Darrell Hall and Anthony Lynn make the tackle. So Montana has 18 seconds.
You know, I think if I'm Marty Schottenheimer with my 0-10 here, I think I just kneel down, take the 14 points I got, going in halftime. You don't want anything stupid here that can add fuel to this Denver fire here now that they've got a little bit.
That's what's going to happen. This will just be the kneel down as the winds pick up. And Marty Schottenheimer personally is 0-7 here in Denver, counting his losses as the Cleveland coach. So Montana and Elway, the battle of two of the top NFL quarterbacks. And at the intermission, the Chiefs 14, the Broncos 10. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
For nothing.
Good afternoon. In our next segment, we'll update you on the late games and bring you highlights of the early games. But right now, we'll talk just about the 6 early games with Mike Ditka and Joe Gibbs, beginning in the Meadowlands, where the New York Football Giants are the first team in the league with 10 wins, first to clinch a playoff berth, 20-6 winners over the Colts. And, Joe, it's not true that the last Colts touchdown was on a pass from Unitas to Lenny Moore, but it has been 17 quarters since they got into the end zone.
Almost. I tell you what, a little interesting sidelight to this game. Dan Reeves having a tough time in Denver. Everything got pessimistic out there. And I think two coaches here can tell you there probably comes a time for just change is good for coaches. Dan comes to New York. Everything's positive. He's done a fantastic job here. And they look like the old Giants of the old days, running the football, and with Phil Simms, correct and very precise passes.
And Rodney Hampton, 33 carries, 173 yards. Mike, they've got the best record in the league. Can we call them the best team in football?
Well, I don't know if they're the best team, but I think right now they got the tools to do it all, Jim. They've got all the tools in place, and I think if things go their way, they get that home field advantage, they're going to be tough to beat.
All right. Chicago's winning streak comes to a halt as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers upset the Bears 13-10 in Tampa Bay. The key stat of the game you pointed out, Mike, only one Buccaneer turnover.
I'll guarantee you Sam's whole preaching all week was don't let their defense beat us. If they're going to beat us, make the offense beat us. The Bears are having trouble doing it. They don't have a two-edged sword. They can only beat you with their defense. Their offense can't get it done right now. And until that happens, they're just going to be a good football team. They'll never be a great team. If they ever get the offense on track, then they'll be a great team.
Chicago drops to 7-6. Their winning streak comes to an end. Houston's win streak persists. Oilers getting an 8th straight victory, 19-17 over the Cleveland Browns. Joe, a game of big plays in which the Browns simply couldn't make enough of them.
And they made a critical error. They're playing great on defense. I think they got better quarterback play today out of Testaverde. They made a key mistake right before half when Eric Metcalf did not get out of bounds on a big pass down the sideline. But I think overall it's Warren Moon, the run and shoot inside the dome. They're hot right now. It was just too much for Cleveland to overcome, although they're getting better.
An increasingly confident Oiler defense carrying them again. Defense carried the Buffalo Bills. They trailed 7-0 against the Eagles in the fourth before Frank Reich engineered the comeback to bring them to a 10-7 victory. Bills are 9-4. Reich again underlines his value, Mike.
Well, he really does. Here's a guy that doesn't say anything. He sits on the bench. He prepares all week. When he comes in, he does the job. I think it's a testimony to Frank Reich and the type of character he is. He's a good young man, and it's good to have an experienced quarterback that can come off the bench and get you a win.
Meanwhile, in a big upset in the Superdome, the Los Angeles Rams get 212 rushing yards from rookie Jerome Bettis, beat the Saints 23-20. The Saints, who were once 5-0, are now 7-6. What about Jerome Bettis, Joe?
Well, I tell you what, my son, Coy, who played at Stanford, said, Dad, trying to tackle that guy a year ago, he says, like trying to tackle an offensive tackle. Coy's 218 pounds. This guy's 255 pounds. Coy's a linebacker. This guy's a back. Couldn't even get him down, and neither could, I tell you what, it was a big day for him today, getting 250 yards or whatever it was.
28 carries, 212 yards. The reincarnation of Earl Campbell, but bigger than Earl. And in a baseball score in New England, the Patriots have their second win, 7-2 over the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll be back with more as NFL Live continues. Welcome those of you who've been watching one of the most eagerly anticipated games in the league this year, Montana versus Elway. Kansas City leads Denver 14-10 at halftime. Mike, both quarterbacks had their moments in the first half.
Well, Montana looked unbelievable in the first couple drives, but then, you know, you can never count Denver out. Elway is such a good football player, and he's a guy that's probably won more games coming back than anybody I know except Roger Staubach. So this guy put him back, got a big touchdown at the end of the first half. So they're right back in the game. It can go either way.
As usual, much on Elway's shoulders, Joe. They lose another receiver to injury. Not much of a running game, but he's got him in there. Yeah,
that was a classic drive right before half. Sometimes I wonder, you know, why they don't... I put the guy, I think, in a no-huddle all the time, just let him call it and go. I mean, the guy's so good at that, and I've seen him do that earlier in the year. I'm not so sure that's the way to operate with Elway. Just let him go from the first second on.
Quick note to Wade Phillips. Joe Gibbs says try the no-huddle all the time. Meanwhile, down in the Los Angeles Coliseum, the Raiders have just gotten a Jeff Hostetler touchdown run. In the seconds before halftime, they lead the Seahawks 10-9 at intermission. Dallas Cowboys are getting big first halves from both Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin. Irvin with his 5th 100-yard receiving game of the year. They lead 17-6 over Minnesota. Detroit Lions have their first touchdown since Barry Sanders went out on Thanksgiving Day. It was a Kramer to Moore touchdown pass that tied Phoenix 7-7 at halftime. Earlier today, in the Meadowlands and Giants Stadium, the New York Giants became the first team in the league to win 10 games this year, first to clinch a playoff berth. They did it on the strength of Rodney Hampton's running, 16 yards down to the Indy 1 in the first quarter here. He scored on the next play to make it 7-0. Hampton finished career high, 173 yards on 33 carries. Second quarter, still 7-0 Giants. Bill Sims mixes it up with this perfect shot to Chris Callaway, 17 yards over good coverage, the point after touchdown was botched, and that made it 13-0 Giants. Giants reestablishing the tradition of dousing a winning coach with Gatorade as Dan Reeves' team clinches a playoff berth 20-6, and the Giants don't have a lot of variety, Joe, but what they do so well.
They do extremely well. Dan's getting pretty good. Notice a little side step there to miss. That's not bad. I tell you, they look like the Giants of old to me. Run the football, precise passing by Sims. Nothing's changed about this place. Last night, Pat and I got trapped down the street, and it's still freezing cold up there. It's a tough place to play, particularly the Giants playing the way they are
That
right
would
now.
be Pat Gibbs, the missus, right?
Yeah.
There have been so many others. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers halt the Chicago Bear winning streak. 13-10 is the final there. Only one Buccaneer turnover in the game, and the Bears, as usual, couldn't muster much on offense. They live and die with that defense, Mike.
Well, Jim Harbaugh got hurt right before the end of the first half, and they brought in P.T. Willis, and he did a good job. They generated a touchdown with him in there and a field goal. But I think right now the Bears are living one dimension. You know, they need a two-edged sword. You got to have offense, defense. They play pretty good special teams. They play great defense. Right now they haven't been able to generate anything on offense. You hold a team to 13 points in the National Football League, you should win most of those games. The Bears have given up, I think, the second least number of points in the league, and they got a winning record, but they'll never be a great team until they get the offense on track.
Bears dropped to 7-6. Now must hope that Detroit will lose, and also Minnesota. Cleveland Browns put up a good fight, but lose to the Houston Oilers 19-17. The fourth Del Greco field goal decides it. It was Warren Moon with the play-action fake in the first half as Cleveland led 10-6. Moon, after a slow start, hit Spencer Tillman for that 4-yard touchdown that puts Houston ahead for the first time 13-10. 16-10 favor Houston in the third. Vinny Testaverde finds Mark Carrier between two Oilers, and that 28-yard TD puts the Browns back on top 17-16. But a critical play, Testaverde looks for Carrier again, is picked off by Chris Dishman of the Oilers. This leads to Al Del Greco's 4th field goal, and the Oilers, with the big play defense, win for the 8th consecutive time, 19-17. Rams upset the Saints behind 212 rushing yards from Jerome Bettis. 23-20 the final there. The Rams get their 4th win of the year. Cincinnati falls to New England in the battle in Foxborough as the Patriots get their 2nd victory. Drew Bledsoe with a conservative game, 1 touchdown pass to Ben Coates, 7-2. New England over Cincy. We'll send it back to Dick Enberg and Bob Trumpy for the second half of the Chiefs and the Broncos right after these messages from your local station.
10-10, and John Elway with one of his masterful drives to get the Broncos right back in it at the half.
Yeah, you can't talk about Joe Montana and John Elway without just marveling at their abilities to just grasp when it gets important and know when they've got to come up with the big plays. And here is the touchdown that was thrown to Shannon Sharp. What's happening here is you've got double coverage out here by Kansas City. You got a man watching the running back here. You got him here. These two guys bite. Sharp makes the adjustment to come right open in the end zone, and John Elway with that strong arm is able to find him. Now, that's good coverage by Kansas City, but the defensive backs broke the cardinal sin whenever you play Denver. You can never drop coverage on any receiver when you play John Elway. You cover that guy until the whistle blows. And the zone defense of Kansas City just got had by John Elway on that one, Dick.
Well, the Coors Light halftime statistics bear out how even the half was.
Even, fairly even, almost even. Yeah, well played.
And Denver will get the ball first. Severe sprain of the ankle. The report on Derek Russell, the starting wide receiver for John Elway, and will not return. The good news on the weather is the snowstorm has stalled apparently over the mountains and is not expected here till 7 o'clock local time, so should not impact the game, although the northern winds have picked up. It's much colder, and kickers going right to left are going to have some problems in the second half. Lowry kicking with the wind at his back. And he drives it into the end zone where Del Pino will take the kneel down. John Elway comes on. Dan Saliamua is one that he may not see in the defense of Kansas City. Report on Saliamua, who is injured, appeared to be a neck injury, is that he may not return and has been replaced by Nate Newton's brother, Tim Newton, number 96. So it'll be Joe Phillips and Tim Newton, the big tackles inside for KC. Elway trying to continue the magic that he had floating around this field at the end of the half. Oh my, Bernstein runs into a wall of white, and a gain of just a couple, and Newton was one of them. Played his football at Florida, was drafted by Minnesota in '85.
You know, it's surprising that Newton is that big. You'd figure his big brother Nate got all the food, but Tim seems to have walked up to the dinner table there a few times too.
He's 6 feet tall, 269.
He's at least 269.
I wonder if he likes French fries as much as his brother.
Nobody likes French fries as much as Nate.
He's looking for an all-right at commercial. Again into the center of the line for short yardage. 2, maybe 3 goes Milburn, his first carry of the game.
Dick, you can see Denver here trying to at least threaten Kansas City with the run to give John Elway some room to throw.
Well, I suppose Elway looked at the new face there, Newton, said, well, let's test him out. Newton makes the tackles.
These numbers aren't good enough. Those numbers certainly weren't good enough. But again, now it's 3rd and medium yardage for Elway to convert here.
So he goes shotgun. This is where he's dangerous on the run, and he's throwing for Bernstein. All the way to the 35 of Kansas City. Longest play of the game, 41 yards.
Kansas City threatens blitz to keep running backs in, and Doug Terry drops coverage on the running back. Another break of that cardinal rule against John Elway. You're gonna see him come out here and up the field, and Doug Terry just never really gets the coverage on him. Bumps him there and then kind of lets him go. And Elway, what a beautiful touch on that pass.
On first down, Bernstein to the 31-yard line. Tracy Simeon completes the work started by Derek Thomas. So the first completion to a running back is a big one, 41 yards, and Elway, what a master. How many can throw that accurately running against his body? And Joe Phillips is the injured Kansas City Chief. Already losing Sally Amua in the middle. The veteran Phillips down. Timeout, 12:38 left in the third.
So you think driving an Oldsmobile 88 is like sitting in your living room? Well, we've got a photo of your living room here. Love the couch. Now take a look at the 88 LSS. Cooler seats, much better sound system. Plus it handles better than your living room. Not to mention many cars. So if you're gonna sit down, at least do it someplace good. It's your money.
Hi, everybody.
Dave, we're all worried.
About what?
You haven't ordered your holiday ham from my store.
Or the cookies I made for you.
Or your turkey.
Or your eggnog. Or your fruitcake. Yeah, what kids?
Nothing. Wendy's is making a new Big Bacon Classic Combo.
Oh.
It's a quarter-pound of fresh beef, 3 strips of bacon, and the works with biggie fries and a cold drink. So this holiday, save your appetite.
And I thought you forgot my prune tart.
Who could forget that?
Try Wendy's Big Bacon Classic Combo today.
After all these years, Watson, the trail is decidedly cold.
But Holmes, it's quite warm in here.
All these years.
Curiously cozy.
No. Fiendishly clever. Observe, Watson. Warm house, many years. It must be...
Lennox.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
For home heating, for cooking, for hot water, use clean, natural gas. America's best energy value.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Oldsmobile. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor orders. By Lennox. When quality gas heating is a must be a Lennox. And by Magnavox. The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
Phillips left under his own power. Darren Nickel, 92, replaces him. 2nd and 7 for Elway. Trailing 14-10, early third quarter. Flynn Milburn trying to get the little guy outside. Makes a good move. Makes something out of nothing with a 25, just shy of the first down. Well, what was it that Ditka said yesterday on the pregame show? Something about too many lawyers in the game. Well, Joe Phillips is a lawyer, and this is what happened to him on the last play.
Former teammates. Here's Rod Bernstein, and watch Phillips. Watch what happens. Bernstein puts his head right into him, and then Phillips trips over carts. Lands right on his back.
Pretty good block by Bernstein.
Yeah, Ditka must really hate Joe Phillips. He's married to a lawyer, too.
3rd down and 1. Bernstein hit, but drives forward. Appears to have the first down. Tim Newton made the tackle. So with 2 fresh men inside, Newton and Mickle, not starters. Wade Phillips goes right at him, and a first down at the 23.
And hey, Rod Bernstein's come out here with a fire. I mean, that long reception down the sideline, the first catch by the running back today, and those rushing yards. I mean, all they have to do is just threaten this defense, and then you hope Rod Bernstein will break one for pretty good distance.
On first down, they take out the tight end, so 3 wide receivers for Elway. Incomplete. Intended for Tony Kimbrough, who's caught only 1 pass all year, and the veteran Albert Lewis there to break it up.
Derek Thomas, for the first time today, got pressure on John Elway. Tries to jump inside Freeman. Then as he rolls, Elway rolls, Thomas is there. I don't think there's ever been a quarterback in the game better at that than John Elway. Rolling, setting, throwing, and throwing with steam for a receiver. Close call. Both were looking at the ball. Incidental contact.
2nd and 10. Delay to Melbourne. Well done by the defense of the Chiefs, and Darren Nickel Another Florida Gator there to make the stop along with Doug Terry.
Now, Dick, Kansas City is going with the 7 defensive backs, just 4 guys up front. So Denver's countering with the draw, which is a good idea, but you're right. The defense of Kansas City is mobile enough that they're not allowing Milburn to get any head of steam.
45-year-old Wade Phillips. Look at the Lieutenant Elway. 2 yards separate them, each with a touchdown pass. Each has been picked once. Offside Kansas City. Elway with a free play, and he hits his man. How many times have we seen that? Arthur Marshall, first and goal. Elway sees the flags, knows he's got a free one. Boom, 17 yards.
Darren Midville, I believe, is the guy who was offsides, the defensive tackle. We've seen that too, that hard count. You see Mickle come across through the neutral zone, and Elway knows, aha, this is the Elway zone. Watch this throw. Boy, is that baby spinning. Woo! That's RPMs, man.
Either you catch that one or it burrows a hole in your chest.
Tattoos. Nice pattern run, Kevin Ross in coverage. But, I mean, you need to be right on the receiver to stop a bullet like that.
Quite a drive to open this second half. This is the 10th play, first and goal, as the Broncos threaten to take the lead. Bernstein. Nothing there. Thought he might be able to get outside, but Martin Bayless came up to close that off.
Dick, when he bounced outside, the play was over. When you got lead blockers up in front of you and it's inside the 10-yard line, you want to get what you can and forget about being fancy.
Bernstein leads the Broncos with 613 yards. That's 13th in the NFL, but averaging only 3.4 a carry and 3.0 today. 36 yards, 13. Actually, less than that, less than 3. Elway on second and goal. Knocked down and almost intercepted by Lonnie Marks.
Intended for Shannon Sharp. Denver was running the pick. They brought Shannon Sharp in motion. You're going to see these guys go up here and try to pick off the defensive backs, and watch Marks. Whoa. Quick reactions. Yeah. That almost stuck in his face mask.
He's had a good year, Marks. He has an interception. He's forced 4 fumbles. So third and goal from the 4. It was...
Or did Kansas City taking a chance here with all those defensive backs in there? There's 7 of them.
Oops, offside is Sharp. Didn't hear the count.
Well,
false start. Number 84 on the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
That happened to Elway at the end of the half. The penalty took it back to the 9, and he hit Sharp for the touchdown.
I don't know why Shannon would do that. He's looking in at the football, and you're supposed to go on movement, not on sound.
50 yards against Denver. A negative again, as it was in that first game.
And Dick, again, now Kansas City with 7 defensive backs. Bernstein is there. A trap might work. A quarterback draw might work.
From the 9-yard line. Well, there's going to be another 5 on a false start. Russell Freeman.
Or was that too much time?
False start on the offense, number 79 prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Dave Wydell, 79. Looked like Freeman might have been pulling back with him.
Yeah, you're right. It was more than one. So Denver is going backwards here.
Now to the 14-yard line, third and goal.
The play still works, though. A draw up the middle by the quarterback.
Yeah, but 14's a lot to make in this spot.
Blitz.
Far end zone shot. Touchdown. Oh, my. What a throw. Wow. Wade Phillips has been in football all of his life as a son of a great coach, Bum Phillips.
He, too, punctuates with wow. Denver leads for the first time. Elam's try for point.
Dickey's done it his entire career, John Elway. Sharp is the man in the slot. Kansas City comes with a blitz. Sharp does the smart thing. He gets right up to Mincy and then makes the move, and Elway puts it in a perfect spot for the reception and the TD.
Well, you have to know it's the 100 and, in this case, 20 yards of field and 53 1/3 yards width. Does he measure that one like a surveyor and hit it right in the far corner? Wade Phillips loves the lead by 3.
We're a part of the future. We're the heart and the soul. We're the voice of tomorrow, singing out to the whole. You're a part of me, that's the heart of me. Without you, I'm just a lonely melody. But together we are harmony. You'll always be a part of me. You're a part of me, that's the heart of me. Without you, I'm just a lonely melody. But together we are harmony. Dr. Pepper, you're a part of me.
So, you're buying a new car. Well, before you spend all that money, why not make a free call? 1-800-LSS-WINS. When you do, we'll send you a free video showing how well the Oldsmobile 88 LSS luxury sedan stacks up against cars costing thousands more. It's your money, but fortunately, it's also a free call.
Shannon Sharp, a pair of touchdown catches, one at the end of the first half, one to open the second half. Meanwhile, Montana hadn't played for over 30 minutes. Elam's kick to Harvey Williams at the goal line. And Williams skipping out to the 26-27-yard line. 80-yard drive engineered by John Elway. It took him a dozen plays, and he was sharp to hit Shannon.
Oh, was he ever. But here's the chance that Kansas City is taking. You've got blitzes, so you've got man coverage here, here, and here, and here. And John Elway takes absolute aim for that spot right there, the bottom of the cone, and puts it there beautifully. 6 points.
Hey, that's the telestrator of the year right there. Now the Bronco fans go to work with the lead against Montana. He knows how to quiet them. First down comes out. Mr. Cool, 12 yards, right on the money to Willie Davis.
John Ault is down and hurt.
Left tackle John Ault having another Pro Bowl year. Montana has been sacked only once in 10+ quarters, and that's when he tripped over Marcus Allen.
Yes. And the offensive lineman turned around and said, "What happened, Joe? What happened on the sack?" And he sheepishly thought, "I tripped over Marcus."
Take a timeout.
When they told him he didn't have the size to play, he reached inside and found the power. Starter. He was from a small school in a small town, but he had the heart to make it big. Starter. Each had a dream, and when you start with a dream, where you end up is up to you. Starter.
Recently, Oldsmobile pitted its 88 LSS against Acura Legend L and Lexus ES 300. Well, actually, no. In fact, if you call this toll-free number, 1-800-LSS-TEST, we'll send you a free video showing how well the LSS stacks up against cars costing thousands more. You'll probably be grateful. After all, it's your money.
in the bag? Lunch. Quarter pound of cheese, fries. Kick you for it. First one that misses. I know. Watches the winner eat. Barefoot, helmet on backwards, split the uprights. Through the tunnel, hook it, off the stone guy, split the uprights.
These guys are good.
Off the freeway, through the tunnel, off the scoreboard, split the uprights.
John Alden's on the sideline being attended to by the trainer. You see an awful lot of injuries like this. Watch Dan Williams, number 90, roll right on the ankle of John Alt. That's how the receiver from Denver got hurt earlier, Derek Russell.
But he all did leave with weight on both feet. All part of the protection scheme for Montana, who has a first down on his first pitch of this second half. Well, contact before the ball was snapped. Marcus Allen is drilled. I don't see a flag.
There was definitely an offside. Dave Wyman made the tackle.
Yeah, there's movement, but Dronette apparently was not in the neutral zone. Kansas City's got to recapture some control of this football game now because
look at the comparison. Both 12 for 18. Elway 2 touchdowns to 1 pick. Allen again. Tripped up in the backfield for a loss. Dennis Smith, the oldest defensive back in the NFL. Teammate of Marcus Allen at USC, roommate.
And as a matter of fact, there are people who say that if Denver had won their 3 Super Bowls, they talk about Dennis Smith the way everyone talks about Ronnie Lott. And Ronnie Lott, in that roommate situation at USC, was the cook for Marcus Allen, Dennis Smith, and Ronnie Lott.
3rd and 11. Williams can't get Montana. He throws it away. How did he get out of that? But the crowd nevertheless pleased as Kansas City is stopped. Marty thought that Montana might have been hit late. Let's see.
Good coverage downfield by Denver. Again, faking the blitz. Looked like 6 is coming, but only 4. Dan Williams chases him. Grunhard, 61, makes the block. Well, Dronette is pretty late there, but Bernie Kukar, the referee, right on it.
Brian Barker to punt. Glenn Milburn at the 15. Wobbly spiral. Helped by the wind to the 16. Milburn takes a chance. Now if he can get outside, but was shut off and tackled at the 22. A 47-yard punt. 6 on the return. A look ahead to NBC tonight, and it's a great family night here on the Peacock. Rather the youngsters around for the Jetsons at 7 o'clock as they blast into the future with George and family. And then NBC presents the classic E.T., the most beloved movie of all time, it says here, from Steven Spielberg.
Go home. E.T., go home. Phone home.
Well, you were close.
It's not my favorite movie. I'm sorry, Dick.
Rod Bernstein to the 20. You were thinking of T.E., your favorite movie. Jim Lampley has this update.
Well, Dick, as you know, it was Tim Brown who propelled the Raiders to their victory in Buffalo last weekend. And today it's Tim Brown who takes this third-quarter punt from Seattle's Rick Tootin and goes 74 yards to stretch the Raider lead to 17-9. Meanwhile, you're outdoors on grass with one of the best games of the year, and we're enjoying every minute, Dick and Bob.
Okay, Lamps. 2nd down and 12. Tillman in motion. Elway with a short hit to Shannon Sharp. Sharp with his 4th catch gets it to the 26-yard line. Take that goal. Short-changing Shannon. He's now up to 6 on the game and 63 for the year. Far below his brother, who's likely to lead the NFL again. Shannon from Savannah State. He said his worst sport in high school was football.
Yeah. He was a track athlete, a basketball athlete.
He is an athlete. 3rd and A long 4. Elway, chased by Derek Thomas, makes the throw, complete to Kimbrough. Tony Kimbrough's second catch of the year, first down. Elway's magic still alive.
Dickey has taken over the game. John Elway has taken over the game. This is not what John Elway has done earlier this season. He stood in there and thrown the ball away. But now he's running like the John Elway of old. He's taking over the game. Kansas City runs a stunt.
Derek Thomas, 58 after him. And now Elway goes deep. Incomplete. Intended for Melvin Bonner. And it shows you what has happened to the receiving corps of Denver. Decimated. Bonner hasn't caught a pass all year. Kimbrough's only caught 2 with Vance Johnson and Derek Russell. The starters the first half of the year both injured. Elway has to find new men with which to work. And when Elway's at his best scrambling, that's when you needed those veteran guys.
Absolutely. They can't give up on a pattern. And John Elway doesn't give up on the pattern. Look, he's orchestrating out there. This is John Elway at his best.
And Joe Gibbs said, he said, yeah, they say, put him in that shotgun, let him call the play.
Absolutely.
Birden blast for almost 10. They're going to spot that right at the yardsticks. Charles Mincy and Doug Terry around the ankles.
Dick, they're starting to wear this Kansas City defense down a little bit. You're starting to see the push and shove work in Denver's favor. You're starting to see receivers open a little more. So watch the job by Karts and Wydell on the on Newton. And when you've got Mincy coming up to make the tackle 10 yards later, Kansas City's defense starting to slow down ever so slightly.
Just missed the first down. It'll be third and that much. 4:33 left in the third quarter. Elway's last 2 possessions, he's taken his Broncos on long drives to a touchdown, and he's at it again on 3rd and inches.
Now, you know, last night Derek Thomas lamented to us that the last couple of years up here, Kansas City has not finished. They have not finished off Denver. Well, it's happening again.
You'll never get a coach or a player opposing Denver to say the altitude is the factor. You'll never get him to say it.
But it is.
Flags fly. In fact, Bernstein said just that. In San Diego, we never would admit it, but when I got up here.
Number 84 on the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Second time for Sharp.
Yeah, Bernstein said when he first came up here after he signed his new big contract with Denver, wanted to try to show off to the coaches, you know, out running some laps. He said about 3 laps into it, I'm heaving my guts out on the sideline. There have been players here who have suffered from altitude sickness. So, yeah, Marty says you get in, you play, and you get out. It has no effect on you.
Wrong. Elway now 3rd and 6, and batted in the air by Bayless and caught by Albert Lewis. Lewis has the Chiefs at the 25, and talk about momentum turning.
Who hit it?
Bayless.
Bayless tipped it up in the air. I couldn't pick up who hit it. See if we can pick up where everybody is. There's Bayless right there. See what happens. They're threatening the blitz. Oh, wonderful job. He hits him right in the chest with it. And then Albert Lewis always seems to be in the right place at the right time for the Kansas City Chiefs. Watch this. Bayless, perfect timing. And Albert Lewis is really the only one who's there fighting with Elway.
That's a remarkable interception, his 4th of the year in the backfield of the Broncos. Here's Marcus Allen. There's the Kansas City Chiefs with that big turnover, trailing 17-14.
Yeah, the amazing thing about Martin Bayless, too, he was cut by Kansas City, the last cut this year.
And Marty says, well, are we lucky that no one picked him up? He's really played well.
They bring him back. He starts at strong safety, allows them to move Kevin Ross to free safety. This is an excellent defensive backfield, and that was a huge play.
John Ault has returned at left tackle for Kansas City. Flags down. And we'll see if that's false start or offside. Usually false start when they're thrown that.
False start. Number 66 on the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Again, watch the interception. Bayless jumps up. Albert Lewis always looking for the ball. John Elway tries to knock it away. 1st and 10, Kansas City. We knew this game was going to be this way, didn't we? It just had to be between these two teams.
Kansas City, 10 straight losses in Denver. Marty Schottenheimer never has won 7 tries here. Montana has a man, Willie Davis, for a touchdown. 29 yards.
Yes, sir. There's an assist, Martin Bayless.
It's a game of can you top this? Elway, then Montana, each with 2 touchdown throws as Montana moves up the list all time. That one ties Dan Fouts, number 5 all time.
Boy, what Joe Montana does here is look off safeties, which no quarterback has ever done better. And that's why Willie Davis is wide open.
Lowry adds the extra point, and Kansas City claims the lead, 21-17.
There he is. He's going up in the middle, and Joe Montana doesn't look. He keeps looking right, comes back to Willie Davis. Lilo Lang, 21, looks like the man in coverage, 6 points.
Montana. There's so many things to praise this great quarterback about. Those baby blues are a parable. One is his courage, his ability to see the field, his certainly his savvy, and that all came together on that last touchdown. And Bob will examine it for you again.
Beautifully executed. Look at Nick Lowry here. He's got the tee upside down. Nick tries to tell us he's one of the normal people, not like a kicker. But Lowry's got the tee upside down. Nick, come on. What is the idea here?
Needs an assist from Charles Mincy here as the wind from the north picks up.
Kickers, they always separate themselves from the rest of humanity.
Temperatures drop now to 46 with a wind chill 26 as the weatherman calls in from Denver. 21-17 Kansas City. Much too deep to return for Milburn, almost out of the end zone. Now Montana, 254th touchdown pass to tie Dan Fouts.
Dick, you talked about his eyes. Joe Montana, as he comes back, is looking this way. His receiver is coming from here. The guy he's influencing is down here, if you can understand this. And watch when he comes back. It just affects the safety. See, at the last second, he comes back to Davis. Now, safeties are reading his eyes. Those baby blues, you can't trust them.
And did he float that out there beautifully?
Perfectly.
Not overthrown, just a nice soft toss. And now he not only ties Fouts for number 5, Sonny Jurgensen is only 1 ahead. Oh, Montana knocking down some big names. Shannon Sharp for 5. Let's take a look at that list of immortals. Tark, Dan Marino, Unitas. They say Montana the best ever. You'll get some votes from the gray hairs about Johnny Unitas. Sonny Jurgensen only 1 ahead now for number 4 spot.
That is an impressive list, isn't it?
Dave Craig on that list.
That's impressive. That would shock a lot of people.
2 teammates. On 2nd and 5, Bernstein. Oh, Neil Smith. Good stop of the run. He's known for his pass rush, but Smith tough against the run as well. It'll be 3rd and 2.
I think that, frankly, is the hardest thing for defensive linemen coming into the NFL to learn, to play the run. Most of them play high coming out of college. They rush the passer particularly well. Neil Smith became a 100% better player when he played lower at the line of scrimmage, and then he could stop the run.
Only the 2nd player picked in '88 behind Andre Bruce, Atlanta's choice. Some thought that he wasn't going to be the great one, but he certainly has the best. 3rd and a long one. Bernstein. They'll make it Del Pino in, and they give it to him on short yardage goal line. Charles Mincy up from a safety spot to make the tackle, and Del Pino from Dodge City, Kansas, Boot Hill.
There's even a museum there where Wyatt Earp is buried. Wants activity, wants the ball, likes catching it, loves carrying it, will block for anybody. How the Rams allowed him to get away is just beyond me. Turned out to be a great find for Denver.
Down to the final minute, third quarter. Denver trails by 4. Elway throws it away. His receiver, Kimbrough, well covered, and had he thrown it to him, there was a white jersey. It was Dale Carter looking for the pick.
And Darren Mickle put a lot of pressure on John Elway. He's been pretty well protected so far today. Carter was right there. Mickle up front with the pressure. You know, the addition of these 3 offensive linemen, new offensive linemen for Denver, is going to help him a lot. Zimmerman and Habib and
Maggs.
Yeah, they're going to help him a lot. There's Zimmerman.
He's a licensed pilot, but doesn't dare fly Fridays or Saturdays. Elway on 2nd and 10. Incomplete for Sharp. Albert Lewis. Late flag. That's going to be, as they look at it again, a very tough call. Lewis doesn't seem to argue.
Dick, it looked like Lewis broke to the receiver the first time Elway pumped the ball, but he didn't throw it.
Pass interference. Number 29 on the defense. We replace the ball at the spot of the ball. First down.
There's the matchup very obviously. And Elway kind of has a little hitch in his delivery here. Good contact there. See, that's where he pumps it, and then the ball comes in later, and therefore the interference. No question.
It was the right hand, not the left. Would have been okay, but it was the right hand early. 11-yard penalty, first down at the 45. Del Pino just across midfield, just to complete on Zimmerman why he doesn't fly Fridays and Saturdays, even though the big tackle acquired from the Vikings has his plane right next to the training facility here.
He said, I'm concentrating on the game. I might make a mistake. And you make a mistake in a plane, you die.
He says he'll fly tomorrow.
Yeah.
He'll fly tomorrow.
This guy is wound a little too tight for an offensive lineman. He's, for the first time in his career, playing left tackle in a left-handed stance. In Minnesota, he had a right-handed stance. It's been a difficult transition for him.
First time in 20 years of football he's had to use the left hand. And here's Bernstein, who has a first down and more to the 39-yard line. A 10-yard pickup. Ross and Bayless make the tackle. And what a third quarter that was. Elway and Montana showing their best. And at the end of 3, it's Denver leading 21-17. Back after these messages from your local station. With Bob Trumpy, Dick Enberg, welcome back to Mile High Stadium. The Broncos trailing Kansas City 21-17. We open the 4th period. First down at the 40 of Kansas City for Elway. Underneath, incomplete for Shannon Sharp. Now we get a report that Arthur Marshall is out with a bruised knee, so Denver has lost Russell with an ankle injury, Marshall out with a knee, so Elway is working with a supporting cast in this game.
There's Reggie Johnson having his hamstring attended to on the sideline. They're going with 2 tight ends. They got Tillman in there and also Kimbrough now. So you're right. These are the understudies, Dick.
That's all he has. So Bonner and Kimbrough between them had only 1 catch all season. Elway to the sideline. Shannon Sharp does often get himself in the right place. Doug Terry makes the tackle shy of the first down. Here's an NFL update. Jim Lampley in New York.
So maybe it's been 14 quarters since the Jets have scored a touchdown, Dick, but no such problem for James Jett of the Raiders. The league's leader in yards per catch has this 56-yarder from Jeff Hostetler to stretch the Raider lead over Seattle now to 27-9 in the 3rd. Raiders have exploded, Dick.
Well, the Raiders building off that victory at Buffalo, upset last week. The Jet Man going to work out at the Coliseum. 3rd down and 5 for Elway. The pump. Now in trouble, Neil Smith with his 2nd sack today. And here's that George Brett tribute. That's 13 on the season for Smith, who was only 1 behind Anthony Smith of the Raiders for the AFC lead prior to today.
This AFC West has got a lot of great pass rushers. Neil Smith is certainly included. They're running games everywhere here to try to get pressure on John Elway. Excellent coverage downfield allows the time for Neil Smith to make the sack.
And it took him out of field goal range. Ruin sends it high to Birden. No fair catch. Kroll hits
Gets him at the 10-yard line. So Mike Kroll, starting linebacker on the special teams. Timeout.
Just do it. And by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
We're back to Kenberg with the ET of the telestrator, Bob Trumpy. Montana starts from the 10-yard line, leading 21-17, fourth quarter. On top. Oh, what a catch by J.J. Birden, and it counts! Oh, my!
They're saying that the defender forced him out, therefore they're going to allow the catch.
28 yards. What a catch by Birden.
Not even a play-action fake. It's Atwater, and they're saying a second foot without the contact would have come down. That is a wonderful catch by Birden.
But again, look where it's thrown. The only place where it could have been caught by Montana.
And he does hang on to the football, and that's why they allow the catch.
Out to the 37-yard line. The superlatives here in this one. Play action Montana. He's gone to two. Now his third receiver is the one on the sidelines. Throw it away. But he went right through. That was the sequence there. 1, 2, 3, and all of his receivers covered. That doesn't happen often. He can even appreciate it.
That's always been the secret. Look at this. No rushing yards in the third quarter. That's always been the secret of this Bill Walsh offense. You give the quarterback a hot receiver, an alternate, so he's not back there thumped by the defense. And Joe Montana, there's Paul Hackett. He's the guy who knows the offense, learned it from Bill Walsh, and passed it along to the rest of the Chiefs.
Allen, no rushing second half, but he does have a rushing touchdown. Here's some positive yards. Kimball Anders, no one looking for him, and he rattles off about an 18-yard gain to the 44-yard line.
Man,
out of bounds, it's a 16-yard pickup.
This is the old scissors play. You see Allen go this way. It influences everybody. Anders gets the ball coming right back. Watch the defense. They all think Allen's going to get it. Dave Wyman is not affected, but an excellent call by Paul Hackett and a big pickup.
Now Ernie Thompson in with Allen.
Blitz.
And a long, long throw for Birden. And against the wind shows you the strength of Montana's arm. Mecklenburg putting pressure on the Kansas City quarterback.
He comes from everywhere and anywhere. And he's late, but it's right up the gut. And they try to have a fullback block on Carl Mecklenburg. That's never going to work. And Ernie Thompson is a big guy, but Carl Mecklenburg plays linebacker, but he plays like a defensive end. Big, strong, tough.
Yet such a quiet-mannered, soft-spoken, plays the guitar for his kids, sings lullabies to put them to sleep at night. Here's Marcus. Not much there at all. A couple at best. Mike Kroll and others on the tackle, and Dennis Smith came out of it with the ball.
Forward progress stopped.
So it'll be 3rd and 8.
Joe Montana told us last night for this ball game they have 101 passes in the game plan. 101.
What would be normal?
50.
7 DBs for Denver on 3rd and 8. Good pressure by the Broncos, and Montana couldn't find a receiver. Jim Barnett the closest, and the kicking team on for the Chiefs.
He also takes no chance of throwing the ball late down the middle. Throws it out to the sideline. No turnover here. Jones in motion. It's only a 4-man rush by Kansas City. He's just making sure that Denver does not get a hand on that football.
That young rookie 90, Dan Williams from Toledo, is a man blowing up the pocket. Brian Barker's blocked. Ricky Rivers blocked it. Barker knocks it toward his own goal line. And finally McNair picks it up. And it'll be Denver's ball at the 10-yard line. Negative instead
but this is not a punt rush. They're setting up for a return. It is not a designed punt rush. And then why Barker tries to knock the thing back to the end zone, I am presuming he's trying to get it to the end zone for a safety. But as it is, a loss of 48 yards.
Barker blocked for only the second time in 235 attempts, and a golden opportunity for Elway and the Broncos to reclaim the lead. Bernstein. Oh, he's twisted down hard after a gain of 2. Tim Newton down around the ankles.
I'm telling you,
Rogers on top.
Dick, that was not a designed punt rush.
Well, it looked like the up back, thinking there was no rush, was trying to get downfield.
Right, let him go. Reggie Rivers makes the play. Schottenheimer emphasizes special teams.
Gain of 3 for Bernstein. Second and 7. Bernstein. Same play. Got less. Neil Smith, Joe Phillips back in, and Rogers. Bayless there too.
Here's the guy who comes in and blocks it. You would think that the running back 45 should do something.
Thompson.
Ernie Thompson should do something. I mean, that is not a designed punt block, but taking advantage of the situation, Reggie Rivers.
Elway known for his fourth quarter heroics, although it's a bit early, 10:48. 31 in his career. They've made a video out of it, but he has none this year. But it's a little too early for that.
Sharp.
Elway, Sharp, touchdown! He's got the hat trick.
Somebody's got to cover this kid on the goal line, Dick.
Sterling Sharp, 3 touchdown catches. That one for 6 yards after the block punt by Rivers. 24-21 Denver. Woo. Oh my. That any fan could have asked. 10:33 left. 24-21 Denver. Elam kicks it out of the end zone. That 20 to 25 mile an hour win. Reggie Rivers, pride and joy of Southwest Texas State, sets it up for Shannon Sharp's 3rd touchdown reception.
It's a simple square out, Dick. Doug Terry is the man in coverage. There's no holdup at the line of scrimmage. Now Elway doesn't seem open initially and then gets it to him. And the 3 touchdowns that Shannon Sharp has scored have been against the 7 defensive back look from the Kansas City Chiefs, and because of Reggie Rivers' punt block.
Now Rivers is a journalist. He's written some articles. That's the way it's supposed to come out. You make the big play, you get 7 points for it. Now it's Montana's turn. And he has to scramble, and down at the 30-yard line, Dave Wyman gave him a bump after almost 10 yards. But every time Montana is hit, I'm sure everyone in Kansas City, Missouri, takes a deep breath.
Fringes, yes. John Elway gets all the press for the fourth quarter comebacks, but the guy who wrote the original book on fourth quarter comebacks is right there. Mr.
27, Elway 31. Who will get the ball last? 2nd and inches. And Marcus Allen has the first down and slashes out to the 37-yard line. What was it that Marty Schottenheimer said about Allen's running style? You can see it there. So low to the ground for an angular guy.
Yeah, lowers his shoulder pads. I think one of his secrets is he keeps his eyes open. You see him slip a lot of tackles. Should be coming right at you. And just from underneath that helmet, he's always looking. He never really closes his eyes. He never allows somebody a straight hit on him, and low.
As he anticipated hit down where there's not much to nail, and that's why Marcus has been relatively injury-free through his career. First down, Allen again, diving to the 40, pick up a 3. Wyman and Mecklenburg there.
If you wonder why guys like John Elway and Joe Montana in these situations are so great, I think part of it has to do with their coolness. Montana stands in the huddle, calls the play, hey, no problem. There was a drive that he executed in Cleveland a number of years ago against Marty Schottenheimer. And one of his offensive linemen said, got him right where he wanted it, as he had 98 yards to go. But these guys are just collected. They're within themselves. They love this.
Montana, first option taken. And he'll run it out of bounds. Mecklenburg and Kroll there.
Respect. Mecklenburg pulls up. Didn't make contact.
Joe Palooka. Carl Mecklenburg. What a player.
I had no surgeries this offseason, so he said I was able to train this year in the offseason. Feels good.
Charlie Waters said he's got a heart as big as Minnesota.
Yep.
He comes out. They go with their defensive back package. Third down again for Montana. He needs 6. Down he goes, Simon Fletcher. His first sack, his 9th of the year. Only the 2nd sack in 12 quarters against Montana.
Here's the matchup. Siglar 66. Simon Fletcher, look at the strength at 240 pounds to go around that offensive tackle. Great speed. Not made the Pro Bowl, I think, because no one knows what he really is, linebacker or defensive end. He's a pass rush specialist.
He's on the ballot as an outside linebacker. Barker nails a beauty against the wind. Milburn at the 12. Cut down after a 5-yard return and a timeout with 7:28 left in the 4th.
I'm going to be disappointed when this one's over. I don't care who wins. Let's negotiate with them. They can take a 5-minute break and then just play some more for no points, okay? I'd really like to see that.
Until the snow arrives.
Until the snow arrives.
And off to Vail. You come with me to Vail.
By the way,
we'll show you a few tricks.
Speaking of turnovers, how are you in turnovers over Thanksgiving?
5 days, 3 turnovers. I'm a +2.
+2. Marty Schottenheimer would like you very much. Please, tie the score. I want to see more.
Hey, what a game. Montana and Elway giving us a treat today here at Mile High. It's Elway's turn. But the big play was the special teams play by Reggie Rivers at this point to give Elway room to take the lead. On the ground, Del Pino. Neil Smith another tackle along with Joe Phillips.
And Dick, John Elway doesn't have much other than Del Pino, Bernstein. He's got Shannon Sharp. He's got some understudies out there at wide receiver, so he wants to, got 7:10 on the clock with 3 timeouts, and he wants to control the ball here, and there's Shannon Sharp.
Oh, no.
He's coming off a bad ankle.
Vance Johnson a couple of weeks ago with a broken ankle. Lost Derek Russell in the first half today with a bad ankle half in return. Lost Arthur Marshall with a knee here in the second half. So he stays on the ground, and Bernstein's got running room. And the big guy across the 30 with a first down at the 33 behind a block by Gary Zimmerman.
Excellent play. This series made famous by Washington. It's the counter. Well executed by the Denver Broncos. Those are big guys out there in front. This is what San Diego used to run. The counter series. Well, I'm telling you, there was a writer here in Denver who accused this team of being a bunch of quitters.
Gutless, he said.
Gutless. This is an inspired performance by Denver today.
Bernstein again had trouble with the handoff, but able to tuck it away to the 37-yard line. Pickup of about 4. Tracy Rogers from Fresno State made the stop.
And again, this is just push and shove straight away. Nothing to this one. Del Pino doesn't even make a block, and it looks like Reggie Johnson did something to his knee. 89, he was holding his knee when maybe he got a cramp or something. Looks all right, but they're falling all around John Elway here.
He was out a couple of weeks with that hamstring.
Yes.
That could have been aggravated. 2nd and 6. Del Pino. Maybe a yard. Eric Thomas, Joe Phillips in on the stop. I understand the injury to Shannon Sharp is serious. Will return. Brady returns now.
Timeout taken by Kansas City here. Defense takes the timeouts to conserve time for the offense.
5:37 to go. Denver with the ball and a 3-point lead. Number 39, 3rd and 4 for Elway. He's been tough on 3rd down. 9 of 14 and all 3 touchdowns to Sharp were on 3rd down. What's the call here? Good protection. And he hits Tillman, Cedric Tillman, for a 1st down. Only his 4th catch all year. He's got Tillman from Alcorn State, an 11th round pick a year ago. Bonner, a 6th round pick this year. Kimbrough, a 7th round pick this year. Those are his receivers.
They dropped Derek Thomas 58 off for coverage. 3 guys couldn't attack John Elway, and he makes the completion.
21 yards, and Wade Phillips sees a 1st down at the 40. Leading 24-21, under 5 minutes to go. And a whistle. It was not a delay of game, so let's check the penalty. Ball start.
Ball start. Number 65 on the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Zimmerman off the flight path there too soon.
They were coming with the counter again, and Zimmerman, yeah, they both bounce out of there a little early. Wydell 79, Zimmerman 65.
1st down, 15. Denver penalties were a key in the 1st game. Kansas City winning 15-7. Denver had 7 false starts. Away through the arms of Bonner, who is, after his 1st catch of the year, and a flag is down on the other side of the field.
Very
deep
late.
in Kansas City secondary.
Very late, Dick.
Sometimes that's tight end holding, but it isn't this time. It's against the Chiefs, and that'll carry a 1st down.
Apparently, when the ball was in the air, there was contact between
Illegal contact. Number 54 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's Tracy Simeon. And the contact, I believe, is with Tony Kimbrough. Kimbrough's running the pattern. Albert Lewis on the inside. The ball's thrown way to the other side of the field. Yeah, there it is. And the ball must have been in the air. That's an automatic 1st down.
That's a play Bobby Ross, the Charger coach, talked about this week. It happened last week against Denver. It was totally away from the play. Cost San Diego a touchdown last week, and Ross said they ought to look at that rule. Bernstein rattles up the middle to the 34. Simeon makes the stop. Good yardage on 1st down, about 6.
Well, Marty's staring at 11 straight losses in Mile High Stadium. Jinx or no jinx?
Well, he's staring at the jinx, number 7, who's taken every snap. That's the only thing he'd admit to. John Elway, who has been just his tormentor through the years at Cleveland and at Kansas City.
Starting to rain a little bit, I believe, Dick. I see some precipitation out there.
Bernstein takes it outside. Oh, as he catapulted at the 30. To a 1st down, it would appear, as Dale Carter submarines him. And Bernstein having a big day, 90 yards rushing for the 6'3", 240-pound fullback.
It's designed to go inside. He bounces outside. Well, Dale Carter's got some guts. Stuck his helmet right on those knees. Bernstein walking slowly to the sideline.
Yeah, that'll make you think about why you didn't want to be a gymnast. Delpino replaces him. Clock running. 3:25 left. Delpino. And for Kansas City, the challenge now is to stop Elway and hope that the Broncos can only get to a field goal, leading by 3. And Marty Schottenheimer, thinking that way, calls his 1st timeout. Marty Schottenheimer had a 14-3 lead early, and it looked as if finally this would be the Chiefs' day in Denver. Then a late 1st half rally by Elway took them 74 yards for 14-10 at the half. Then Elway gave him the lead with his 2nd touchdown pass to Shannon Sharp. 17-14, Montana right back to score on a 29-yard pass to Willie Davis. Then the block punt, and Elway to Sharp for the third time to score, 24-21. That's where we stand. 3:14 to go. One timeout left for Kansas City. Second down 8. Delpino protecting the ball. Gets a couple. Tim Newton wrestles him down. And Kansas City is now void of any timeouts. They'll get the 2-minute warning and hope that they can stop Denver and give Montana a chance for a final drive.
In fact, didn't we last week see John Elway sitting on the sideline in San Diego wanting an opportunity to get back on the field and score? We saw Joe Montana standing on the sideline hoping for his opportunity for one more time.
Well, we have a break. Let's look ahead to next week. First, the AFC East standings. Well, there are the lineups. Buffalo, Miami, and that'll be the key game on NBC, along with Houston, Pittsburgh. New England goes to Cleveland, and a late game, San Diego will be at Arrowhead. And the standings in the East, Miami 9-3 play tomorrow night against the Steelers. Buffalo has won, a big win for the Bills coming from behind. Frank Reich replacing Jim Kelly. The Jets very much a part of the picture, 8-5. Remember, they've got 2 wins over Miami. And we will be at Joe Robbie next Sunday. Let's hope the drama is the equal of this one. 3rd and 7. Elway 10 for 15 on 3rd down. And he goes to work on the roll. Avoids the rush. Sharp is tackled by Carter. Good play by Carter for a loss at the 35 of 8 yards, which really puts a challenge on Jason Elam on the field goal. What would have been a long field goal now becomes a very long field goal. It'll be about 53 yards instead of 45.
He would have been a lot better off just throwing that away, but Elway will not give into a play. He's going to find somebody to throw it to. Elam does have the wind at his back. That helps.
Carter. Fans are booing, feeling that he's feigning an injury. These fans are really in tune with the sport. They know every subtlety, and that Kansas City without a timeout. But in this case, with 2:42 to go, as soon as he goes off the field, the clock will be wound, and Denver can take the full complement. There are 25 seconds left. Here's the contact.
He makes the tackle on Shannon Sharp. See if we can figure out what happens, if anything. Kind of spins his ankle, maybe his knee a little bit.
Derek Thomas got a touch of Elway. That's about as close as he's come today, as he put the pressure on, forced Elway to throw the short pass.
Boy, Marty never stops coaching, teaching, instructing.
24-21, 4th down, 2:42 to go. But Denver can let it run down to about under 2:20 before Elam has to have the ball snapped. Just to make this clear, Kansas City has gained no advantage by Carter being attended to.
Correct. It's outside 2 minutes. No time is taken off the clock. They gained nothing. You're right.
Now Elam, a 53-yard attempt to give Denver a 6-point lead. He hits it hard. He's got it. That one would have been good from 63.
He ran down there to cover it. He really thumps this one. Not a real high trajectory.
But watch how far over the crossbar it goes. That's almost the top of the uprights when it goes over.
He knows when he hits it, too. It's long enough.
Well, he's hit one from 54 and 53 earlier, and he's been in a bit of a slump. That explains his joy as Denver moves up 27-21.
And who's about to take the field? Elway watches from the sideline. It's Joe Montana's turn.
Elway and the Broncos used 5 minutes and 2 seconds on the drive, leaving Montana with just 2:26, no timeouts. A similar situation earlier this year for Kansas City in San Diego in their 6th game, when Montana, no timeouts, down 14 to 10, drove the length of the field and beat the Chargers 17-14. Our thanks in the booth, Raj Schneiderman, Mark Friedman, Bradley Pearson, Ray Friedman. John Baratzis, our producer, John Gonzalez, our director. Well done.
You want him to start at the 20. Kick it in the end zone.
Wind blows the ball off the tee.
And I noticed Jason Elam has got the tee upside down, too. Now, you see what happens. Nick Lowry starts this stuff.
Hey,
and all the rest of these kickers are doing.
Lowry's third all-time in field goals. Why not?
This is a kickoff.
Harvey Williams deep. Won't have a chance. Out of the end zone. Montana starts 80 yards away. Down by 6. 2:20 left.
Dick, did you see Marty give a little pat on the butt to Joe Montana? Go get him, son. I've seen you do this 100 times. Do it one more.
Last time the Chiefs won here.